Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. As many of you know, EOS Solutions is dedicated to providing innovative tools that streamline and enhance your development process. Today, we are excited to delve into one of our standout offering, Gordon. Gordon is a free all-in-one tool designed to simplify and speed up development and system management for Business Central. Last November at EMEA Direction for Partners event in Vienna, Gordon stood out as a solution that addresses common pain points, offering a user-friendly interface and powerful features that resonated within the community. Today's session will be deeply technical, so I will now leave the floor to Thomas and Stefano, who will walk you through Gordon capabilities.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas. I am the team leader and developer in EOS Solutions for more than 20 years now. And today we have with me a colleague and developer, Stefano Primo. And we have been developing this tool that we are now going to show you. So what this will be, just a moment. Okay. So what we are going to show you today is, first of all, what is the Gordon Suite? What is included in it, where you can get it, what the Gordon Suite can do for you. And then in the second half of this presentation, I will leave the floor to Stefano, who will then take you to a demo, a live demo, showing you exactly how Gordon is used and what it can do. So let me start off with what is the Gordon Suite. So the Gordon Suite is a tool that we in EOS have been developing for the better part of 3-4 years, maybe now, and is a suite of tools meant for developers and consultants working with Business Central. This has become one of the primary tools that we internally use for managing our Business Central environments, as well as tools that we are almost on every client now installing on their systems for managing our customer environments. It is free, no strings attached. This means it does not have any upfront cost. It has no subscription cost and is provided completely for free to the Business Central community. Originally, this tools had started out as simply a package manager for Business Central, and we will get to that in a moment, meaning to be able to distribute and consume the apps from EOS and install them on your Business Central environments. And following the internal uses, and also the application of our different tasks, we extended this tool to perform a wide array of remote managing capabilities for Business Central environments and services. This includes on-prem and SaaS environments. So speaking about the package management, what I mean by this is that when we started out first shipping the first applications, EOS Apps, in 2020, we were using internally a product called Inido ProGet, which is a package manager, which we used to publish our packages to and provide them for our customers and partners to be able to download them. This was the first attempt of using a package manager, which then evolved when 2024 Microsoft announced that they as well will be publishing apps and packages from Microsoft on a package manager, but this time they chose to go to use NuGet as a package provider. Following this, we with Business Central 25 Plus started to also adopt NuGet as a primary package manager and started shipping our apps for this infrastructure using Gordon as the vehicle to deliver and publish this. So even though we have moved on to NuGet, we still do support the following package sources. This is NuGet, of course. Inido UPack. This is a universal package format that is not to be confused with Azure Universal Packages. It's a whole different format, but it still exists and is supported. And also file system. So you can, if you want to, place your packages in a local file system, UNC or local, your choice. We can read them from there as well. This has now become the only distribution channel for our EOS apps, and is, as of now, fully compatible with BC Container Helper. For those of you who know how BC Container Helper handles NuGet packages and also ILGO handles NuGet packages, our feeds and the way that Gordon handles NuGet packages is fully compatible with what BC Container Helper does. So what exactly is included in the Gordon suite? The Gordon suite is made of primarily of the Gordon service. This is an API service that we will get to later and facilitates the access to your Business Central environments from outside of the environment itself. Speaking of a server or a container, you just place Gordon service in it and you can access through this service, can access your Business Central environment. Then we have the Gordon UI. This is our main tool that most people in EOS are using, and this is also the tool that demo will be about, that Stefano is later going to show you, which is a Windows application that allows you to manage BC containers, manage BC services within them, or even services on servers that are not containers, install and update apps from the package manager. Then we have a Gordon VS Code extension, which almost allows you to do the same things that the UI does, but with a much clearer focus on development experience. This means it is an extension that you install into your Visual Studio Code extension environment. And from there, by directly working on your AL project, you can manage BC containers, services, handle dependencies, manage the packages directly from inside VS Code. Then we have the Gordon PowerShell module, which is essentially the same as the UI and the code extension, but packages all the functionality into commandlets that allow you to use these features as part of your scripts, your pipelines, your CI/CD flow, and whatever. So this is clearly geared towards pipelines and continuous integration and delivery. And also, a side note, we in EOS are now using our pipelines fully running on Gordon. So everything that we are building and publishing to our feeds is powered by the Gordon PowerShell module. And last but not least, we have the Gordon XLIF editor, which is also a Windows application that allows you to easily and conveniently edit and translate AL XLIF translation files and translate your AL projects to multiple languages. Okay, so where can you get those tools from? The first thing to note is that we have several applications that are standalone applications, like the Gordon service, the Gordon UI, and the Gordon XLIF editor. Those are delivered using our Gordon installer. You can see in the URL here where you can get it. It's a free application as well. It serves as an installer through which you can update and install these tools. Then we have the Gordon PowerShell, which is published to the official PowerShell gallery. You have the direct link here, but obviously you can install it just as you would install any other PowerShell module by running install ps resource. And finally, there is the Gordon VS Code extension that is pushed to the marketplace of VS Code and can install from there. Also, you have the link should you choose to do so from there. Then, if you have any issues or you require support by using any of these tools, we have the landing page, which is also the same URL where you can get the Gordon installer from, where you have the basic information that you need to get started. You have all the links and every resource that we have made available accessible from there. We invite you to open any issues or any support requests or any feature requests you might have on our GitHub repository. Here you have the URL that points to the repository. And finally, we have a documentation site where most of the features or the most important features of Gordon are explained and documented, where you can check and see how to use and set up Gordon. So a quick overview of the Gordon installer. It's basically a portal tool from where you can get the applications. As I said, you can download it from this URL here. It looks something like this and allows you to install all the tools that you are standalone tools from there. What it also can do, in case you are interested in Gordon service, which you will be, and I will show you later, install and update the Gordon service directly to a container. So by changing the scope, you can select either installing on your local machine or installing it directly into a container from there. It is also available as a command line interface. So if you want to use this for scripting, you can do so. It is an executable that has the same features of updating and installing our tools. And always on our GitHub repository linked here, you can find some examples as to how to do that, where to get this CLI from, and how to use it to install our tools. All right, so next up, what can Gordon actually do for you? So the main reason why one would want to use Gordon is the following schema. As you all may know, you have a local machine with a developer who wants to connect to several servers running maybe several different PC versions. So the classic way would be the developer opens some kind of remoting, be it a remote desktop or PowerShell remoting session or whatever, to come to the server one. In this case, he has to be, as you all know, a local administrator of this machine. Therefore, he will, by some kind of remoting, create an administrative session on the server, load the PowerShell module to connect to BC14, and then connect to BC14 to do whatever tasks he has to do. The same goes for the second server, same thing, RDP with an administrative session into the server, from there loading the BC25 module to handle BC25, but at the same time, the developer has to load a specific BC24 module to handle the BC24 version. This is something that is made very, very easy by using Gordon service. So the difference here, we have the same scenario, but the difference is that we have two additional stacks here. So first we have the Gordon, be it UI, PowerShell, or VS Code, whatever you choose to use. And then you have a Gordon service that is installed on the service host on the machine. This can be, as I said, a physical server or even a Docker container. And by this, it renders it completely transparent to the developer what kind of PC service he is connecting to and what lies behind this server. So the developer will do nothing more than fire up one of the Gordon tools and connect to server one, and the Gordon service will take care of loading the correct PowerShell module for you. And being the service running as an administrator, the developer has no longer the need to be the local administrator of server one or server two. And the same thing obviously goes for server two, where Gordon service will choose the correct PowerShell module for you. So as far as the developer goes, he just connects to any business address server, and the correct version and communication protocol is automatically chosen for him. All right, so the Gordon service, as I said, is a REST API. It is actually written in .NET 8, if I remember right, which is a ASP.NET Core web API that you install into the machine and allows you access to it. This can be a BC machine, a server, Docker container, whatever. You have to install it one time, and every BC service running on that machine will be manageable through Gordon. This allows remote management and thus eliminates the need for the user, the developer, or the consultant to even have access to the server. Because all communication is through a REST API, I no longer need to give my users administrative access to the machine. By connecting through this REST API, Gordon service will check for you which version of the service you are connecting to and load the correct PowerShell module, and allows therefore to easily manage multiple BC versions side by side. Of course, this reduces the security in a certain sense, because the Microsoft approach is, okay, if you want to manage a BC service, you have to be a local administrator, and by that enforces some kind of security policy. While we, using Gordon service, use a different approach, and that is the approach of API keys. So in Gordon service, you can define one or more API keys that is required to access this server. This can also be defined per service. So you could, for instance, give one set of users an API key where he can only access test services, and give other users another API key where he can access live services. And finally, this Gordon service is a requirement for the Gordon UI, PowerShell, or VS Code to function properly. Next up, we have the Gordon UI. This is, as I said, a tool that Stefano will be showing you later. But just a quick head up what it can do. It can start, stop, and configure services. It can start, stop, and create containers. You can install, update, and uninstall apps. Anything that is related to your Business Central apps, you can do that from this UI. You can manage user sessions, kill them. You can have access to the package manager. This means you can also have access to multiple feeds at once. As I said earlier, we do support NuGet, Inedo universal packages, and file system folders. And we also support using them all at once. So for instance, you could connect a certain BC service to use NuGet for getting EOS apps and a local file system folder to get your custom apps. Also, the Gordon UI allows you to diagnose and check the status of your service by listing the license information and retrieving event log directly from within the UI without needing to access the server directly. Then next up, we have the Gordon VS Code extension. Here on the right, you can see how it would look like if you have it installed on your VS Code instance. So you have on top, you have containers. You can start and stop them directly, the ones that are running on your machine, obviously. You have the package feeds. One thing to note here is that package feeds that you defined and any configuration in general is shared between these tools. So this means if I configure a package feed or a service host or whatever inside VS Code, I also have immediate access to this from the UI and from PowerShell. So they share a common database of configuration and you can use them interchangeably. One thing that VS Code does in respect to the UI is that it manages dependencies directly from VS Code on your AL project. So as you can see here, you have a list of all the dependencies that are currently present in your AL project. And with the arrow up tells you that I have 3 dependencies that actually are outdated, and I could update them to the latest version because somewhere on the package manager, there is a new version of this dependency that I have declared. You can run a restore dependencies, which is very useful when starting up a new project. This means that I load my AL project, and from there, I can install any dependencies cascading onto the BC service or Docker container that I require to work on my project. It also allows you to download symbols. You may say, okay, I can do that already from the AL language extension. Yes, but with the Gordon VS Code extension, you can download the symbols directly from the package manager. And being all the apps from Microsoft also available as NuGet packages, in theory, you could fire up an AL project and download the symbols directly from the package manager and start developing without ever having to access a BC service, because all the symbols are retrieved from the package manager. You can run a build and a deploy via PowerShell, and by this I mean you can do the same things that you would do with the PowerShell commands at install, publish, and syncing apps, meaning no longer only development scope, but also into global or tenant scope. This is very useful if you are working on a library and you have other apps installed that require this library. and you go into conflict when running this development deployment, while when using global deployment, this would work just fine. VS Code also introduces, Gordon VS Code introduces the concept of build configurations, which is one or more configurations that allow you to configure how a certain project is built. It means you can include or exclude files, change the metadata, or by running the build of a specific configuration, automatically include or exclude any test dependencies. It allows you to set up your app source code, automatically retrieving the reference version from the package manager. And one of the latest additions that we made was to execute tests directly from within VS Code, with the ability to locate them within your AL project and have fully navigability. And then moving on to Gordon PowerShell, this, as I said, is the collection of every functionality that our interactive tools provide and encapsulated into 90+ commandlets. It is obviously geared towards CI/CD and is meant to be executed from within a script or a pipeline. It is available for PS5 and 7. It's the same module, but you can choose which one you want to run. It will load the correct module accordingly. It integrates with the BC Container Helper as far as configuration and artifact goes. So if you have any artifacts location specified to your configuration, this will work also in Gordon PowerShell. And to cite some of the most used commandlets, this would be deploy nevapp, which will take a given app and install it on a service, including any dependencies required that are automatically resolved and installed along the way. Download symbols, which would download the symbols with the same functionality as in VS Code. You have an invoke build with full support for the build configurations that I cited earlier in Gordon VS Code. Creating package managers with multiple providers. Invoking the tests directly from PowerShell. And you can find some examples of how this would look like at our GitHub repositories, where we have uploaded some of the basic examples how you would use Gordon PowerShell in such a scenario. And finally, we have the Gordon XLIF editor. This presents itself as a Windows application with a grid view, where you have in horizontal, you have each language that is to be translated, and in the rows you have each token that is required to be translated. We provide automatic translations using providers. These providers at the moment are the current project, which means that the same strings that are already present in your project will be translated and copied. You can load external XLIF files. The classic example here would be to load the XLIF files from the base application to translate strings that are the same in your custom application. And you also have the Azure Translator, which uses the Azure Cognitive Services, which require you to have an API key, which can be configured directly from within Gordon XLIF editor and allows you to automatically translate using the Azure Cognitive Services. These providers work as well as suggestions for single lines. So by just going to a cell and Alt-Enter, if I remember right, opens a list of suggestions that XLIF editor will suggest you to translate this language for, or you can launch it massively for an entire language that is missing, or that has translations that are wrong and you want to correct them. We also have a go-to definition in the AI project. So by hitting F12 from within the XLIF editor, it will open up the project in VS Code and place you to the point where this token that you are translating is defined. So you have a better overview and context to what you are translating. And finally, you have an import and an export feature that allows you to import all the strings on the export to CSV or Excel files and hand them over to some external translators and then import them back again into your AL project once you get them back. All right, so as a final note, here again, some of the links that I cited earlier, the landing page where you can start from, where everything that you would need to know how to use Gordon is linked. The GitHub repository for opening any issues or feature requests, And finally, the documentation for all of these tools that I have just shown you. All right, with this, I hand over to Stefano, and who will now take you to a tour of the Gordon UI. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Thomas. And I will start now presenting my screen. And from here, we have the Gordon UI. And this one is, we try to make it more simple than ever. And from here, we have this landing page, this home page. And from there, you can have a list of the last 8 used services. And so you can quick jump to open the package manager for that BG services. You can, each time you will update Gordon UI, you will see some changelog. So you can see what's changed between each versions. And I will take a focus just a moment on the top right. And here we have 3 buttons, 3 actions. And these are the toggle the light or dark theme. You can show a log. When you are installing app, this log will be populated with all the information. And also in each page, there is a question mark, and it will go through the help page. For example, here we go to our documentation about Gordon. And so let's take a look. And I will start by looking for Docker containers. So in my machine, I have 2 Docker containers, one for BC25, another for BC26. And as you can see, you have the Docker containers name, status, which version it is installed, and also the Gordon service version. From there, we can manage some containers. For example, I can select there and click on start, stop, or remove the container. The same action can be found also on the line, in the single lines. So we have start, stop. We try to make a feeling like Business Central. So we have some action on the top part and also on the lines. And from there, we can also manage, for example, install or update a new Gordon service version whenever it will be needed, or looking through the active sessions. Or also, we can manage the Business Central service, for example, start the service, stop, restarting, looking through the event log, uploading a new license or showing a license, and also by editing all the service configuration keys necessary. So, for example, we can take a look on the apps installed in my container BC25. So by clicking in the name or by clicking on apps here or in the top part, you will see that it will take you to the app manager. The app manager have some actions, but is looking like this. So let me just collapse the menu, and so you see everything. From here, there is this view where we can see the installed apps or published apps in my service. And why is that? Because it is selected to show only the service apps. From there, I can click it and I can start looking for feed apps that are in our package manager, and also looking for updates, available updates for mine installed app. So let's take a look. I select the feed name. This is a NuGet package manager for BC25 for EOS. I can click on feed apps, and it will start searching through the package manager. And I can see here that I can install each of these apps or update, for example, this extension that is the advanced document reporting. But for demo purposes, I will install this app that is advanced cash flow, and I can install it from the line again. Or if I need to install multiple apps, I can select multiple apps and click on install from there. Here we have, for example, I can install the app normally, or I can install it with some more advanced options. For example, I can look for skipping the validation or using a different synchronization mode, both for the app and also for the dependencies. And I can choose also the scope for these apps. It can be global or tenant. By default, this is it. This is the default that Gordon will be used when clicking install directly. So from there, I can click on install, and I will show you the logs that it will get in the app from the service, from the feed, is trying to resolving the dependencies and looking through the app already installed. For example, it's Gordon shows that all of my dependencies are already installed, and so it starts installing the app advanced cache flow. So the status is now changed, is more grayish, the text, so it is installed. I can go back to the service apps, and I can see here I can also hide some Microsoft apps, so I can focus only on the customer or partner apps. And you can see here that I have advanced cache flow. I have two advanced cache flow, one an older version, and another one is the latest version that I've installed. From there, also I can choose to uninstall the app or unpublish some app, unpublish and deleting data. For EOS apps, you can also looking for a changelog that is packaged within the NuGet package, so I can see all of that. Again, I can try and uninstall, for example, this application. I can uninstall it. Yes. And within just a few moments, I've already uninstalled this application. It is no longer available in my container, but it's still published. So I can also select these two apps and going through the uninstall menu and doing an unpublish. It will unpublish all of these apps. And so my environment is now clean. From there, you have also a lot of actions you can try and use. For example, you can synchronize an extension, or you can install an app directly from a file. So by clicking here, you can drag and drop a app file, and it will be installed. I can copy as dependencies some extensions. So when developing with VS Code, I can directly paste it, and my app.json will be ready to run. And I can also, as Thomas said before, I can also choose different package sources. For example, I can use the pre-release version and also the release version for NuGet, and it will be both selected. And by going through the service to the feed apps, I can see both of them. You can also have the view about the update available. And from there, by looking through, you will see that I have some apps that I could update, and you will see that this is my version, installed version, my data version, and this is the available version. And that's all for the package manager, but Gordon UI is not finished. So we said a lot of feed and packages, package manager, and so on. And here in Gordon UI, you can set up easily this one. And as you see, we have a lot of different provider. As Thomas said, we have the folder, we have the ProGet, that is Inedo UPack, we have the NuGet packages, and also we have two different provider, that is the app source symbols and MS apps. And this is packages from the official NuGet repository of Microsoft. This will be all the app source symbols for the partner apps, and this is also the all the application for Microsoft. From there, we can, for example, edit a configuration. I can try to edit this version, BG25, from EOS, and I can see I can choose the feed type. I have all of them. For NuGet, I can choose the URL, and also choose any kind of authentication that I need. From there, we can also manage differently the container. Also, Thomas said that we can create new containers. So we create a simple UI for BC container helper script. So this is just a wizard that will help you create a standardized script for creating containers. For example, I can create a new version, for example, for BC24, which is the BC version, the country. We can choose the authentication type using a custom database, and it can be a backup file or an external SQL, but I can also do not using the Kronos database. I can choose to use SSL, including the test code unit and libraries using hypervisualization and also a lot of additional parameters. And from there, we can see that it will create the scripts for creating all of container that I need to create with all the needed parameters. And I will take a look. I want you to focus on this last lines, and this is Gene. It is Gordon installer by click Gordon installer, and it will install the Gordon service inside the container. So I can, after all the script will be executed, I can directly start using this Docker container within Docker. But also Docker containers are only locals in local scope, but we can also manage servers and that are in remote locations. For example, I can manage these servers from here. This is a Gordon service that try to look up for. And from there, we can look through all the services inside no such host is known perfectly. I suppose my VPN, yep, my VPN is down. But from there, we can see all of the services inside inside our remote server location. I just want to show you how would be this page. For example, you can see from our services, we can see this will be the list of services, and from there we have also all the action that we already seen on Docker containers, like active sessions, service configuration, open web client, start and stop service, and upload license, and so on. For example, I can show you the service configuration. From there, I can edit the configuration for the BC service. And from there, I can choose also where to set the configuration in the config file, in the memory, in both of them. And from there, maybe I can enable the task scheduler. From there, I can click here and do true. And from now, when I will restart the Docker container, the task scheduler will be available. And we have released recently a new feature called environment groups. These groups are something, and now I don't think I can show to you because it was for our remote servers, but you can create some logical groups of Business Central services in different servers, and from there you can push updates of apps simultaneously to each environment. So for example, I will, just for testing purposes, I will create a new environment group, for example, add to environment groups. No, I will create a new one. All right, environment group, create a new one, test. Docker container, and add to environment group to the test one. And also I will add the BC26. This is a wrong example, but again, sorry for our VPN has been down. So I'm added also in there. And by going through the environment group, I will see that we have these BC services, 2 containers, different names, different services. And from there, I can click on Install Apps. And here I will see a list of apps. And just wait a moment. All right. Here I can choose a feed, for example, BC26. And there I will see that some app can be installed or consolidated. So for example, we can see that this app is not installed in any service, BC services. This app is installed somewhere, but have not the same version. And we know it because one is BC25 and other is between BC26. And from there, we can only install, we cannot make destructive changes, just installing or updating new apps. But this is handy for whenever you need to update the same app into multiple different BC services. And you will see also here some preview features that I want to take a look here. And they are features that are not currently released, but you can start using it. But to enable this view, you can go to user settings, and you will see here show preview features. From there, you can see also that we have the SaaS version for Gordon. From there, I can manage multiple tenants and multiple services directly on SaaS, both on production and sandbox environment. For example, I can click here in this SaaS tenant, and here I will see that we have different services, different environments. And for example, I can show you the list of all the apps installed in production. And here again, it will take you to the same package manager, same app manager that you've seen before. And you have always the same view: service app, feed apps, update available. And the only difference that here we are in SaaS, so we cannot install directly from our package manager, but we need to use the app source app. So by clicking here, I can go to the feed apps, and I can look for advanced cache flow. Okay. And I can see here that this is not installed. So I can click here, click on install, and this will start the installation procedure in our environment. So it will see as not installed. So this is as finished. By going on service apps, I don't think that the app is already installed, but within the Business Central SaaS few minutes, we can see that the app will be installed directly from the Gordon UI. And whenever you encounter some issue, or if you want to open a new change request, you can click directly on the issue button in the bottom left part, and this will redirect you directly to our repository, where you can click on new issue and create as many as you want. And from there, from this repository, you can also look through the code, and here you will see the Gordon website that Thomas showed to you before. And from there, you can download the Gordon installer, look through the documentation, and a brief description of everything that the Gordon suite can do for you. So I think that I show you all. So I will stop sharing my screen, and let's see if, I don't know, Daniela or Thomas.
Thank you, Stefano and Thomas, for your presentation. There is really just one question, even if we already said it at the beginning: why this tool is free? So why are we providing it for free? So,
Thomas, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, well, it's basically just something that we have been working on for a long time. And we just feel that package management in general, or even an accessible way to handle business central environments, should be something readily available to all of our partners. And therefore, we are giving this away to the community because it also does not make any much sense to charge for it. Because, in my opinion, it's something that should be available to everyone. And so we are just happy as it turned out, and happy to share it with the community. That's all.
Perfect. So thank you. We will share the presentation, and we will also send you a survey. So if you like to provide the feedback, we are always happy. So thank you once again, and see you. Bye.